Hi, it's Ramsey Dewey at the JX Fight Club in Shanghai, China. And today I want to talk about fake martial arts and martial arts cults. Now, we've all probably seen some of this stuff if you scour the internet for martial arts fails, terms like that. You'll probably see some really goofy stuff. And a lot of this goofy stuff is orchestrated by a charismatic cult leader type of instructor who tends to care more about feeling important than allowing their students to actually progress in the martial arts or learn how to win fights or develop a skill set at all. And it's a big temptation. I think everybody has the potential to go down that slippery slope. Because when you're a coach, again, when you're the big cheese, yeah, it feels good. It feels good to be important. But you know what feels better is helping your students to improve. Is helping them accomplish their goals and live out their dreams and fulfill the potential that they have. Now, that being said, what I really want to address is one of those steps down that slippery slope is something I call the overly cooperative training partner. Now, I watched this really goofy video of these guys dressed up in like monk robes, and there are a bunch of these guys running at the instructor, and the instructor is like making motions with his hands, and they're just doing somersaults, pretending to be like thrown all over with some invisible chi energy of some kind, and it's ridiculous. It's kind of funny. It's funny looking, that's for sure. But when I first saw this, I thought, how did it get to this point? How did it get that far? Where these guys are willing to humiliate themselves for the sake of feeding this one guy's ego, of making him believe he's some kind of wizard, some kind of martial arts wizard with extra special powers. I mean, why do they go along with it? But the more I thought about it, the more I realized a lot of new students are the overly cooperative training partner. They come in there with an open mind and an open heart, and they come in there willing to learn something new. And it's honest and it's genuine and it's beautiful. You know, that state of mind where you're teachable. But at the same time, it's also exploitable. If you are a rotten person who cares more about, fanning the flames of your own ego than helping your students. So I remember one day I was teaching a technique. Actually, this happens almost every time a new student comes. And I'll show like a sweep from the bottom, like a basic hip bump sweep from jiu-jitsu. And before I've even touched them, before I've even applied the pressure, they fall over. And I'll ask them, why did you fall over? And they'll say, well, I thought I was supposed to. Because again, they come into training with this very open mind, like that they want to do what they're supposed to do. Now, I very quickly correct them. I teach them to not be the overly cooperative training partner. Okay? The type of partner where when you demonstrate a technique, like you touch them and they just fall down, you blow on them, they fall down, you look at them and they fall down. Yeah, we don't want to be that. Okay, so it's very important to train realistically on both sides of the equation. Now, when we learn a technique, we don't do it with resistance, but we still have to do it intelligently. That means you hold your posture correctly, right? You don't fall down unless you are forced to fall down. You don't tap out unless you're forced to tap out. If your training partner is not doing the technique correctly, you don't cooperate the way that they want you to cooperate. And again, that has nothing to do with resisting or fighting back. That's just simply good body mechanics. So when we're training a new technique, learning where to put our hands and our feet, on the other side of the equation, when you're the guy, you know, that your partner's training the submission on, or the throw on, or the sweep on, or whatever, you're still maintaining good body mechanics. And you're not letting them throw you all over the place. You're not letting them you know, just knock you over with a finger, right? And if we do that, that's a disservice to our training partners as well, because that teaches them everything works, and everything does not work. I mean, everything works against the overly cooperative training partner. So let's not be that guy. So again, an extreme example of that, you know, those dudes in the monk robes doing somersaults when the guy waves his hands. So if you're a martial arts instructor and you find some overly cooperative students who really want to do the right thing, you know, teach them correct body mechanics. Teach them a correct level of resistance when learning a technique, and teach them, you know, to intelligently defend themselves at all times. And that includes when we're learning technique. Okay? Anyway, thanks for watching. Get out there and train.